I'm Elaine Ingham. I am a professor of soil ecology. The work that I do is looking at soil for what exactly are the correct set of microorganisms present in the soil so that you can grow your plants without pesticides, without the inorganic fertilizers, without the toxic materials that we've been using for the last 30, 40 years in conventional agriculture. What we have been showing is that if you get the biology in the soil correct, there is no need to be using inorganic fertilizers or pesticides. The natural system, if we manage it properly, we can very rapidly bring soil back to a condition of health. And this course, the courses that I give all over the world, as well as have been captured on DVD here, explain how to achieve those goals of bringing back the proper biology so that you can grow your plants without pesticides or inorganic fertilizers. Bring back true fertility, or bring back the actual health of the soil so that you can grow your plants without all the time and effort and the cost of the fertilizers and the pesticides. The basic take-home message is to make proper compost, add that into your soil, get the organisms that your plant requires, and you have to realize that there are different balances of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes in your soil relative to the kind of plant that you want to grow. And you need to understand what your plant requires, achieve those proper balances so that you can grow your plants in a healthy fashion. If we can bring that health back into the soil, the plant's obtaining all the nutrients that it needs from that soil, the plant's in control of that whole process, so that the plant's getting the nutrition that it requires, so what you're eating from those plants actually has the nutrition that you require as a human being. When your animals are eating those plants, they need to obtain the nutrients from those plants, which the plants get from the soil, so that the animals are healthy and the proper nutrients are in the animals, so that what we're obtaining from those animals is also providing the nutrition for us. It has been documented that in conventional agriculture, where we're using pesticides, high amounts of pesticides, high amounts of inorganic fertilizers, that the plants do not contain the mineral elements, the iron, the copper, the zinc, the boron, the manganese. Many of these micronutrients are not being taken up by those plants in proper balances, and therefore the food that we're consuming does not contain the nutrients that we require. That means as human beings, when you eat something, your body is still calling out in need for those nutrients. You have not satisfied that hunger within your own body, and so your body keeps saying, feed me, feed me, feed me. And of course, if you just eat empty calories, you get larger without ever satisfying that requirement in your body, so you just continue to eat more. It is entirely possible that the obesity problems that we have in the Western world today is because of the lack of nutrition in the food that we're eating. We have to get the health back into the soil, the proper sets of microorganisms and their balances, the bacteria and fungi, protozoa and nematodes in the proper balances to grow strawberries that would actually contain the nutrition that would satisfy your hunger, or the wheat plants that would actually contain the nutrition that would satisfy your hunger. And we could potentially deal with the obesity problem. The huge increases in asthma, in immune deficiency diseases, in so many of the problems that we have in the Western world could potentially be because we're not obtaining the nutrients that we require in our foods. How do you fix the problem? You've got to put the health back into the soil. We must have the proper balances of bacteria and fungi. How do you as an individual obtain those nutrients? Obtain the biology that will allow your plants to have those nutrients, your animals to have those nutrients. You have to learn how to make the proper kind of compost that has the full diversity, that has all of these organisms in the proper balances, to put them back into your gardens, back into your small-scale plant operations, into your hydroponics, into the nursery operations, into the large-scale grazing, large-scale vegetable productions. All of them have to go back to having the proper sets of organisms present in that soil. And a course like this is what you need to have to understand all of the balances, how to make proper compost, how to make the liquid versions of that compost, so it's really easy to get those organisms back out into your soil. So for this course, the kinds of people that would think about buying it would be, well, anybody who grows plants. So agricultural folks, broad acre, row crop, vegetable growers, pasture folks. So if you're a grazier, cattle, sheep, horses, pigs, anybody who grows plants really would benefit by having a look at this course, going through the DVDs, through the workbook, and understanding this knowledge. We even work with horticulturalists, greenhouse growers, hydroponics. So it is basically a course for anybody who grows plants.